All right. Lights, camera, action. Hi everyone. My name is Tamika Davis, and this is like so overwhelming. I'm doing this. And I actually have three devices right now. I've got Instagram live right here, I've got Facebook live right here, I've got YouTube live over here because I thought if I'm just gonna do this, I might as well just do it in all the places. So tell me in the comments where you are seeing this. And I hope that you guys will engage with me. I was talking to some of my friends. When was it? On Sunday. And, we were just talking about how can we give value to more people and, what are things that we're good at? And they mentioned that I'm really good at leadership. And I don't go live often and talk about leadership, but they're like, you really, really need to because you have a lot of value to give. And you guys know, with my network marketing business that I've been in for almost 8 years now, I've grown so much. I was a high school math teacher and soccer coach prior to finding it. And if I would have known personal development growth as a teacher, I would have been a way better teacher. Like I feel bad for all those students. But personal development, growing myself, learning has just been a game changer. And so I just wanted to come live on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So you can go ahead and set your alarm on your phone. I'll be here live every Tuesday to give you my 2 cents. Okay. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about closing the growth gap. Okay. Um, my first live, my first time doing this. Hey, Victoria, I see you. And Erin, I'm loving this. Serenity, Kayla on YouTube. Hey. When I was thinking about the first topic that I wanted to talk about, there's so many different things that I could share. And I thought growth is the most important. Understanding how to get there, understanding the limitations, understanding what to do with it. And so me and my husband were doing the 75 hard challenge where we needed to read 10 pages a day. And I have all of these John Maxwell books. I have How Successful People Grow. There's How Successful People Think, How Successful People Lead. There's another one called How Successful People Win. And the thing that I love about these books is that they are little and the chapters are short. Anyone else? Okay. Drop a me if that's like requirement. Like give me either big text, little pages, short chapters, because then that way you feel like you're winning as you're reading. And so I read all of these books, all four of these books while I was doing the 75 hard challenge. And I did start out with this one, How Successful People Grow. And so it's by John Maxwell. He is like the leader, the father of leadership. Okay. If you don't know who he is, you should Google him and start. Everybody, regardless what industry, regardless what your job is, everyone should read John Maxwell. Okay. Hey, Corey. And so, yes, the chapters are short, Kayla. Anyway, at the very, very beginning is where it talks about these growth gaps. Okay. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. So, grab a pen and paper, comment in the chat. Like, let's make sure that, we're holding ourselves accountable for our thoughts. And then that way we can create change. Okay. Hey, Tammy. So growth doesn't just happen. It's something that you have to choose. Now, of course, like you grow up, obviously you don't have to do anything for that. Like you go from a baby to being an adult. You don't have to worry about that kind of growth. But personal growth has to happen by choice. And it's got to be on purpose. Otherwise, you go through all of these things, but you never grow through all of the things. And so you got to make sure that you choose to be intentional. And another thing that it talks about is if you just focus on your goals, you may not reach them. You may reach them, but a lot of times we set goals and we just don't reach them. But if you focus on growth instead of goals, you're going to surpass your goals. Okay. So set growth goals and work towards achieving those every single day. And you are going to see big gains in your life. Okay. So let's go ahead. There are 8 of these growth gaps. And I want you to be honest with yourself. Okay. And decide if these are areas that you can grow in. So that way you can grow to be the person that you were meant to be. So the first one is called the assumption gap. And that kind of goes back to what I was just saying, is that you assume that you're automatically going to grow. Okay. You just assume, oh, I did this, I'm going to grow. Or, oh, I'm enrolled in this, I'm just going to grow. And the only way that your life improves is if you do the self improvement. Okay. So I know that one's kind of vague, but the assumption gap, that you just assume the growth is going to happen without you putting in the work. And it doesn't work like that. So drop a one if you've ever experienced that and you've recognized it and you've made a change. Okay. So assumption gap. You just assume you're of the growth. Okay. Number two, this I see a lot of in people. Okay. Number two is the knowledge gap. And that's that I don't know how to grow. So say you set these goals, or say you want to do these things, but you're like, I don't know how to do that. I think about in my own personal life where I was like, man, I would love to do freebies, and I would love to do like an email campaign, and I would love to do this, but I've never done anything like that before. And unless if I choose to intentionally figure it out and grow and find someone else maybe who's done it before me, or do some research, or just like jump in and do it, I'm never going to learn it. And so the knowledge gap of not knowing how to grow, everybody starts at start. Nobody knows how to do it, but it's where you have to take that first step. And so, make a list of what your goals are and what you need in order to accomplish it. It was interesting. I remember I made a dream board and I put it on my wall right there. I still remember. And it was probably like 4 or 5 years, probably more closer to 5 years ago. And on there, I wrote, become a personal trainer. I know nothing about personal training. I was just going to the gym. Like, I wasn't doing anything at home, like no knowledge of this, but then I started looking at, hey, how are these coaches coaching me? What are things that I like? And like, what are things that I don't like? So that way, if I ever started coaching people, then I would know. And then when COVID happened, then I just started going live on Facebook and coaching people live, and sometimes they'd hop on Zoom with me and I could be like, hey, watch this, or like do this a little bit different. And like, I just started coaching based on what I had seen other people do. And then I enrolled in some classes and some courses, and I learned techniques for coaching. And so we all start. Not knowing how to do something is not an excuse to not do it. And so the knowledge gap is something that holds people back from growth, just from not knowing. So drop a two if the knowledge gap has stopped you from doing something you needed to do, but you were like, I don't know how. Okay. Because we're going to stop that and we're going to just figure it out as we go. Number three is the timing gap. Okay. That means that you keep putting your growth off. You keep putting something off because it's just not the right time. Have you ever used that before? Yeah, I think we all have. Okay. Not the right time. I'm too busy. Maybe when the kids get older, maybe when I'm not working full time and can put more time and effort into this. But I'm telling you, like, time doesn't wait for anybody. Like, growth needs to happen now, and it's never going to be a perfect time. Something is always going to come up. And even if you're like, okay, now's the time to start, well, guess what? A little bit down the road, something's going to come and get in your way that's going to knock you off course. And you're going to still want to continue that growth. You're not going to want to shut it down. So there is no perfect time. So waiting for it is just silly. Okay. So if you've ever used that, oh, I just don't know, it's just not the right time for me, you can still, like, maybe it's not the right time for you to enroll back in college, or maybe it's not the right time for you to do X, Y, or Z, but you can still do something right now to start growing into that, like you can still start, like, I think about starting a new language. I really want to go to France, and I'm like, well, I don't know when I'm going to get over there. Yes, I need to learn, and it's not a good time for me to enroll in college right now. But do you know what I did do? I downloaded on my phone, like, how to speak French in X amount of time, where you could just listen to it at night before you went to bed. And I have that downloaded on my phone. And so, like, I can actually start doing it now, right? And prepping for that. So you can always find a way. You just have to be willing. So the timing gap, it's not the right time to start. It's never the right time. You just do it anyway. Okay. So drop a three if the timing gap has ever held you back from personal growth. Number four is the mistake gap. That's that you're afraid of screwing up, so you don't even try. And any person who's done anything great in the world, like, their mistakes is what allowed for their success in all cases. And so the fact that you're so afraid of making a mistake to be able to take that step towards your personal growth is silly because you need those mistakes in order to get to that next level. And so don't be afraid of making mistakes and be loud about them, be proud about them. It makes you human, it makes you relatable, it makes for a good story. And I always think to myself, like, either it's going to work or I'm going to learn something. So win-win, right? Okay. Number 5 is the perfection gap. It must be perfect to start. And I know for me, this one gets me a lot. Okay. I like things to be perfect. I like things to be pretty. I like to make sure that everything works and the whole system is built, the whole plane is built before we go and try and, launch it. And so the perfection gap can actually stunt your growth because you're so worried about making sure that everything is in line and in place that you're wasting time. And so, just one thing that one of my mentors told me once is she said, done is better than perfect. Just get it done. You can fix it as you go. And that was really good advice for me, especially when I just launched my new 12-week program this summer. So if you guys haven't seen it, go to the link in my bio. It's there. It's a 12-week free Get Fit program. Okay. And, I created this email campaign. I created the workouts. I created all of this stuff to help people be able to be healthy this summer and make lifestyle changes and reach their health goals, whether it's weight loss or just overall nutrition. And it's not perfect. You guys are going to see some spelling errors. The emails may not send at the right times at the right place, but I launched it. I'm saying, let's go. And guess what? When I do my fall 12-week program, I'll be able to fix those mistakes and I'll be able to do better with it. And so don't let perfection stop you. Okay. It's not going to be perfect. And what's important is that you're getting the information out there. What's important is that you're doing the growing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. A couple more. Number 6 is the inspiration gap. Okay. So you don't feel like doing it. Okay, if you're a mom out there, drop mom in the comments. There are mornings that I do not want to mom. Okay. Guess what? We get to do it anyway. There are days where I don't want to work my business, but guess what? I get to do it anyway. There are days where I don't want to talk to another human being, but guess what? I get to do it anyway. There are times where you don't want to do the personal growth because it's hard and it's uncomfortable and it's scary. But everything that I've ever accomplished that was hard, uncomfortable, or scary, or any of those emotions, when it was over, I looked back and I was like, man, like I'm a bad A, or that was awesome, or I learned so much, And so a lot of times we don't feel like it. And so what can you do if you want to experience growth and you're not always inspired? A couple things that have really helped me is making a commitment to other people. And so, I do Zoom calls that I've got to be on. People expect me at certain places. They expect me to do certain things. Like I take on leadership roles in those senses. So that way, like I have to do it even if I don't feel like it. I do as much as I can to work in my strengths, because when I'm working in things that I'm not strong or passionate about, then it's like really hard to get going. But if I'm like, you know what? I'm really good at organizing, or I'm really good at creating content, or I'm really good at this, and I can focus on those things when I'm not feeling as inspired, that definitely helps. And then the last thing is just falling in love with the process. You may not love the to-dos, but if you love the process, then that was a big shift for me. Okay. So that's number 6, the inspiration gap. Okay. If you guys have a tip actually on that, will you drop it in the comments? Like if you have a way to keep yourself inspired, I think that would be a really valuable thing to put in the comments. That way other people could read it. Cause I know we're all different. And the idea of organizing something is not inspiring most of you, even though it inspires me. Okay. So let's go ahead and drop some extra ideas in there. Number 7 is the comparison gap. Ooh, I've experienced this one. If you've experienced inadequacy or imposter syndrome or just comparing yourself to other people, that you don't do the growth because you see other people doing it better. You see people who are further along than you and you just feel inadequate. Okay. So if you feel that, drop a 7 for the comparison gap. Now, what I've learned is that if they're doing it, I can do it too. And there's enough success for everyone. You just have to go out and get it. And sometimes, like even doing this live right now. Okay, I've got 3 devices going. Nobody is watching on Instagram. One person is on Facebook. And I've got 4 people woo woo on YouTube. And this is my first one. So shout out to Kayla, Serenity, and the other 2 people who haven't commented yet, who are watching. Like, it's cool, right? And I just think to myself, oh my gosh, like there are people that are doing lives and they have like 100 people on, and they're so much more knowledgeable than I am. And like, who cares what I have to say? All of those thoughts are going through my head right now as I'm doing these. But maybe someone needs to hear it from me. Okay. Or maybe I'm doing this for myself to boost my confidence, to help me level up, to help me grow, to help me be better at public speaking and experiencing that growth for myself. So then that way I can be propelled further. And like now I've got 5 people on YouTube. So, hey, I see Gabrina Henry. Yes. Thank you for coming out of the shadows. Okay. But comparison is real for everybody. And I just have to think to myself, like, this is my growth journey. This is my opportunity to become the person I want to be. And I got to have my voice heard. I got to have my face seen. I've got to grow in these areas. And if other people are doing it, then I can do it too. And most people who are successful are willing to help you. I know that there are some things that like I see people rocking. I'll shoot them a message or be like, hey, can you tell me about this? Or, when I was actually trying to I remember this one now. It was on Instagram. I randomly came across a complete stranger who had just got her national association sports medicine, the NSAM certified personal training, which I had enrolled in, and I was going to take that test pretty soon. I sent this random person a message on Instagram, and I said, hey girl, I saw that you just passed your test. Mine's next week. Do you have any tips for me? She gave me all these tips. She sent me all these YouTube videos. And here I was thinking like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. She's a personal trainer. Her body looks better than mine. Like, she's so successful and all of these things. And then when I just sent her a message and asked her, she gave me so many tips that helped me be able to pass my test. And so, don't let the comparison gap take you out of your personal growth. I think that's huge. Okay. Hey, Paula. Thank you. You're so sweet. Now, the last one at number 8 is the expectation gap. And that's when people choose to not grow because they thought it would be easier. And the quote always popped into my head, and it's so cliche and it's so silly, where it says, if it were easy, everyone would do it. And how true is that? If it was easy, everyone would do it. Everyone would be doing it, and it wouldn't be special. Okay. Growth is special. Growth is personal, and it's going to take as long as it takes. You can't put a timeline on your growth. But what you can do is do as much of it as you can. So if you expect it to be easy, if you expect it to be quick, growth is a lifelong journey, and it's something to be enjoyed. And so don't expect it to come quickly. If it does, great, and then grow some more. But if it doesn't, just be patient with the process. Okay. So those are the 8 growth gaps. Number 1, assumption. 2, knowledge. 3, timing. 4, mistake. 5, perfection. 6, inspiration. 7, comparison. And 8, expectation. Now, I did not come up with those. Once again, it came from my reading. So don't think that I'm this wise person. I literally read this book. I thought it was very helpful. And so here I am regurgitating the information to all of you guys. And that's what 2 Cents Tuesday is about, where I can bring you some knowledge about leadership, about personal growth, about your mindset, and hopefully help you unlock positive change in your life as well. So the last thing I'm going to leave you with is the luck formula. Anyone want some luck in their life? Drop some shamrocks if you want some luck. Okay. If you don't have, if you're maybe on your computer, you don't have emojis, then just write out luck, get lucky. Okay. Not lucky in the bedroom. This is getting, why do I always do that? I get weird at the end of things because I just drop the word luck if you want some luck in your life. Thanks, Kayla. Okay. Luck comes from preparation, your attitude, your opportunities, and taking action. So when you look at people and you say, oh my gosh, they're so lucky, right? You don't know how much preparation they've been doing. You don't know how they've had to shift their attitude in order to have the growth, in order to have the optimism, in order to have, that positive outlook. Okay. You don't know the different opportunities that they failed through, or the different opportunities that they've had to trudge through, or the different opportunities that have not been open to them to get them to where they are. And action. You don't know how long they've been putting in the work that they've been doing. You don't know what the work is that they've been doing, but it definitely takes action. So hashtag not in a weird way. Yes, Kayla. I get weird. I'm sorry. And so I just want you guys to just like wrap up tonight. I'm going to ask you this question. Put it in the comments. Think about it. Where do you want to go in life? Where's your next step to go in life? I wrote down the question. I didn't think about it for myself. If you don't have that next step, then you're not going anywhere. So I want you guys to think, what is your next step in life? And then how do you need to grow today, tomorrow, in the next 24 hours to get yourself there? And with technology and with all of the things that are available to us right now, there's no excuses. Get on YouTube, Google it. Somebody's doing a free webinar on it. Somebody's already written a book. Everything that you need is out there. You just need to get focused on where are you going next and what's the next growth step that you can do to get there. So thanks you guys for tuning in to 2 Cents Tuesday. That's my sense on growing your mindset and closing that gap. And once again, if you guys haven't seen my 12-week free Get Fit program, you need to get enrolled in it ASAP. Okay, summer is right around the corner. I have a little bit of prep work for you to do before we officially get you started, but it's free. If you just go to the link in my bio, it's on all of my different platforms, and just opt into that 12-week program. It doesn't matter if you're in the US or if you're outside of the country, it's all sent to you via email. And so it's available for everyone. Now, I prefer to work with women because some of you guys out there are a little bit weird. But it's available to everyone. Okay. I'm going to hop off now and I got to close all these lives and all these different places. But thank you guys for being here tonight and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.